Good evening. I'm Major Dan Heater from Spaulding High School, Air Force Junior ROTC. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the Spaulding High School class of 2020. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Cadet Colonel Aaron Goldstein, the national anthem sung by the Spaulding High School singers, and the presentation of the colors by the Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard.
Harry, colors. Freeze, colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave, home of the brave.
Order, colors. Order, colors.
Thank you, Aaron, Spaulding High School singers, and Junior ROTC Color Guard. Congratulations, graduates. You are moving on to your lives after high school, whether going to college, technical training, or directly into the workforce. Some of you chose a different path by enlisting in one of the branches of the United States military. I'm honored to recognize the following high school. Okay, so I'll take it up from thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron, Spaulding High School singers, and Junior ROTC Color Guard. Congratulations, graduates. You are moving on to your lives after high school, whether going to college, technical training, or directly into the workforce. Some of you chose a different path by enlisting in one of the branches of the United States military. I'm honored to recognize the following Spaulding High School seniors who made the courageous decision to answer the call to military service, joining the less than 1% of Americans who are members of our armed forces. David Board, United States Army. Cameron Bolarin, United States Army. Morgan Cowett, United States Navy. Allison Sinfo, United States Marine Corps. Allison could not be here to walk the stage. She finished all of her classes early in January and left for Marine Corps basic training, graduating on May 1st. She is currently attending her technical training with the Marine Corps. Keegan Downing, United States Army. L.E.R. Dougal, United States Army. Avery Dunning, United States Navy. James Gannon, New Hampshire Army National Guard. Christiana George, United States Army. Aaron Goldstein, United States Coast Guard. Hunter Hanscom, Army National Guard. Matthew Merchant, United States Army. Abraham Sirigar, United States Air Force. Lorelei Smith, New Hampshire Army National Guard. And Micah Smith, United States Army. Thank you.
Welcome to our graduates, families, faculty, Superintendent Rapusi, Superintendent Gregoire, Assistant Superintendent McDonald, our school board, and members of our community. I am Mr. Roy, the principal of Spaulding. This is the first graduation speech I have given in front of an empty auditorium, only to be viewed later. Who would have thought that when you entered Spaulding 4 years ago, that your time would end like this? While this entire situation is out of my control and yours, we have worked together to honor our traditions, just in a different way. Even though many of you are disappointed and you've handled the entire pandemic with patience and class, you've been understanding, you've been appreciative. You've embodied what we want every Raider to be. More than ever, I'm so proud to be your principal. I miss you all walking our halls and greeting me with fist pumps and friendly conversations. You've been a fantastic class. I want you all to know how much I've enjoyed you and your amazing impact on our school community. Over the past 4 years, you've certainly left your mark on Spaulding with many accomplishments. 2 of you are National Merit Scholars. 110 are New Hampshire Scholars. We have a Poetry Out Loud state finalist, 23 all-state musicians, and 26 scholar athletes. Many of you worked in our community with internships. 17 of you earned your LNA certifications and are helping in the medical field. We even hosted the first free college day with 277 of you applying for colleges for free. Our FBLA has 2 state officers and is recognized as a Gold Seal chapter. Our AFROTC has earned the Distinguished Unit Award. 109 of you are 2-year completers in our CTE programs. I'm sure our list would be much longer if many of the competitions were not canceled this year due to COVID-19. And then there's athletics. Our student sessions were crazy in the fall, with flour exploding and the drums beating. The excitement around our football team was contagious and felt throughout our school. Our football and hockey teams beat Dover. We had 2 state champions in track and field, 1 in gymnastics and 1 in bowling. 2020 is also the year the basketball court was dedicated to the great Coach Tim Cronin. Our varsity girls basketball team, for the first time in Raider history, are the state champions. We had the most points of any Division I school for sportsmanship for the 4th year in a row. It saddens me that we could not have a spring season, but our athletes, again, took it in stride. Virtual senior nights, lawn signs, and the lighting of our fields on May 20th were all new to us. My time with you is filled with incredible memories and great connections that I hope will last forever. I was so proud to watch our band march down Main Street at Magic Kingdom and to listen to our chorus perform for guests at the Disney Marketplace during my 2 trips to Disney. I'll never forget the Raiders for Change and international sisterhood groups with services to Belfast, Northern Ireland. I will remember the shorter trips to Canopy Lake Park, the Patriots Victory Parade in Boston, and the NHIAA student leadership retreats. The overnights in our school were always fun, especially with the ghost stories. Our community service trips to the soup kitchens. We visited elderly residents. We stuffed over 80 Thanksgiving baskets, and we honored our veterans and armed forces as peace greeters. Remember, it's easy to make a difference in the lives of others. So as you leave us, and you take on your new role as alumni of Spaulding High School, remember that our house is your house and always will be. Congratulations, class of 2020. You made it. And now, I'd like to introduce your class president, Lexi Taylor. She's been an incredible leader throughout these times and has remained positive, upbeat, and dedicated to making this graduation and these festivities the best it can be. Please welcome Lexi.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Spaulding High School class of 2020, we welcome you to our graduation. I'm the class president, Lexi Taylor, and welcome back to this vlog. I'm honored to be here today as we experience with our families, friends, and our community the first Spaulding High School virtual graduation ceremony. I apologize in advance for any mishaps in this speech. As a senior, our final draft is most likely a rough draft. I'm going to take it back now, y'all, to 9th grade. I remember the first day feeling proud to be a Spaulding Red Raider. Over the intercom, Mr. Roy had said some words about making Spaulding our home for the next 4 years, and he played the song Home by Philip Phillips. It's kind of ironic how we are now graduating from our very own homes. It was a year of many firsts. We had our first Friday night football games, along with the legendary SHS halftime band show. It was our first and last Final Four boys basketball game. Many of us had our first standing ovation at the Seacoast Festival performance of My Shot right here in our very own auditorium. Lastly, our AFJ ROTC drill team won first overall in the state drill competition. Wow, what a year. Sophomore year, we had PSATs, Poetry Out Loud, and for some, a driver's license. I don't know which I feared most. However, props to Kayla McGarry for winning the 2020 Spaulding and the New Hampshire State Regionals Poetry Out Loud contest. Being a 10th grader, all I wanted to do was drive. But of course, my birthday was in May. Our eldest classmates would pull up and park at the very end of the rec, walk a mile in the freezing cold, and enter the school thinking they were all that. Add another mile onto that walk for being a minute late, and 10 more minutes for having to wait in line for a late pass. Finally, it was junior year, time for prom and SATs. We began to find new passions. Brian Lane and Andrew Trogler released their hit single, Mama. I'm sure we won't forget that dreadful morning of SATs and how we all walked out after feeling pretty good with our test. Then getting our scores back and realizing that most of us wouldn't be accepted to Dartmouth, other than you, Noah Mitchell. There was one thing we were all confident in, and that was having a good time at prom, especially Riley Prue. Our class challenged the upperclassmen a little too seriously by inventing the class of 2020 junior pranks, from egg fights to our very own tailgates, battling with the class of 2019 at pep rallies. Is it too late now to say sorry? By senior year, we went from dance moves like dabbing and flossing to full-on TikTok dances. Jack Dias knows what I mean. It had to be our fastest year, but with the best of times. This year, we finally beat Dover in both football and hockey, while having the best student section in the state, complemented by the Skin Boys. We celebrated at senior semi and had some of our flashiest moments, from Sydney on Jack's shoulders to the chains hung around Garrett and Tyrone's turtleneck sweaters. Next, senioritis started to kick in. Must I say more? We were counting down the days until our graduation. Coronavirus wasn't in our senior plans, and many of us missed out on spring events, travels, and ceremonies. Virtual learning has been an event of its own, but thanks to the teachers for making it manageable and fun. We've been given a rare opportunity to gain a new perspective on life, to reflect on what we might have taken for granted and about what really matters. 10, 20, 50 years from now, we'll look back and remember how an unfortunate life event encouraged our community to unite around the class of 2020. Now for some thank yous. Thank you parents and other family members, Mr. Roy, educators, administration, guidance counselors, custodians, and cafeteria cooks for always being there for us. Mom, Dad, family, and friends, I want to personally thank you for everything you have done to help me through life's ups and downs. Lastly, I want to thank my classmates for making our class story interesting and filled with unforgettable moments. It's been an amazing ride. You may think we are never, ever, ever getting back together, but never say never. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Let's go graduate. And now, I'd like to introduce our commencement speaker, Marilyn Shepherdson, known as Shep. She has had a profound effect on our class, and we are honored to have her here with us today.
What we learn becomes part of who we are. For the past 12 years, you have been enrolled in a school in which you have learned math, literature, science, history, and the arts. You have been taught how to be sociable, how to walk down a hallway, how to respond during a fire drill, and how to play in a playground. Over these years, you have met incredible teachers, administrators, paraeducators, custodians, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, and friends. You have felt a joy at a win, defeat at a loss, fear over assignments, and elation when achieving high scores. There have been transitions to new schools, courses earning credits towards graduation, getting a driver's license, attending prom, and being recognized at award ceremonies. You have experienced so much over these years and have learned lessons that will always help shape who you are and will be. Members of the class of 2020, I am Mrs. Shep, and I'm honored to be your choice for keynote speaker. This year has been very challenging and has presented many obstacles and roadblocks. Throughout your life, hurdles will be numerous, but it is your response that will show true character and will. Determination must include the mindset that you will follow your dreams and believe in yourself to know what is best for you. I can honestly say that I speak from experience. I would like to share my teaching journey that began in the winter of 1982. I was hired to teach biology to 9th and 10th graders at a private high school in Massachusetts. For the next 7 years, I continued to work hard to provide lessons that would engage and excite my students while holding them to high academic standards. Even as a brand new teacher, I quickly realized that it was the connections and bonds forged with my students that made teaching so rewarding. I guess you could call it the 7-year itch, but in 1988, I could no longer ignore the nagging voice in my heart telling me it was time to move on. That spring, I was hired as a 7th grade science teacher in Rochester and soon be working at Spaulding Junior High. Upon hearing the news that I would be leaving, my principal decided to share her strong opinions regarding this move. Even though she listened to my dreams about moving to the country, buying an antique home, and raising children on a farm, the conversation soon took a negative turn. Even though I called this high school home for 7 years and truly was grateful for all I had learned, what I remember most were her final words to me: "You will never make it in a public school." I left her office feeling defeated, betrayed, and worthless. I actually started to consider whether my husband and I were making the right decision, packing up and moving to a new state, starting a new job, and finding a new place to live. Regardless of these reservations, I knew I couldn't go backwards. When self-doubt began to creep in, I reminded myself I was confident, strong, and stubborn, unwilling to let anyone tell me I couldn't do something. So here I stand, enjoying a successful career teaching in Rochester that has spanned 32 years, because I listened to my heart and I followed my dreams. Class of 2020, always believe in yourself, never let anyone distract you from what is important, make decisions that allow you to feel whole, and appreciate those people in your life that have been there to support and guide you. Since you entered the doors of Spaulding High School, you have proven to be determined, creative, positive, passionate, funny, and resilient. The past 4 years have provided you with structure, routine, and knowledge in usually what laid ahead. With these uncertain times, there is no roadmap for where you are headed, so you must look within to find the answers that you seek. Many of you have spent the last few months taking care of grandparents, parents, siblings, and neighbors. You have placed yourself in harm's way, working the front line in local grocery stores to help us put food on our tables. When you finally get a chance to pause and take stock of all that has happened, keep in mind the subtleties that you have experienced. The transition from winter into spring, days getting longer, neighborhoods turning green, birds arriving back home, days getting warmer and the sun setting later. Life does not have to be perfect to be joyful. Class of 2020, you've got this. And when uncertainty lurks around the corner, listen to the voice in your heart that will guide you and allow you to accept whatever comes your way. The world is a better and brighter place because of all that you are, all that you hope to be, and all that you will be. Remember, what you learn becomes part of who you are. You are truly an amazing group, and your legacy will always be part of Spaulding High School. You have surrounded me with your acceptance, humor, and passion for life. I am a better teacher and person for sharing these years with you, and I'm truly honored to be your keynote speaker. Thank you, and congratulations to each and every one of you.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn. And we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return.
Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you.
Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good.
It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime.
So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I've learned from you. You'll be with me.
You'll be with me.
Like a handprint on my heart.
And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have written mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by the wind of the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for things I've done you blamed me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet, like a ship blown as it passes the wind of the sea, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed
Hello, I'm Taylor Corvo, the class treasurer. In the past years, senior classes usually give incoming freshmen $500 to start up their Spaulding careers. This year, we are giving the class of 2024 an extra $250. This will help make up for the activities and events they lost their 8th grade year, and hopefully they can use this money to plan more events their freshman year. With this contribution, they will be able to start activities and fundraising. This will make for a strong first year to get the class of 2024 going in their Spaulding years. For our class mural, we made it coronavirus related. It was only suiting because it had such a big impact on our senior year. We wanted to represent our class to the best of our abilities because we've always had such a unique way of doing things. In this mural, we have a green wave filled with COVID-19 icons going against a group of Spaulding seniors. Our class's competitive nature makes going against Dover's green wave, our school's rival, the perfect image. Representing our class, the group of seniors will consist of someone in a football, ROTC, and band uniform. It will also have someone decked out in pink for a pep rally, along with various other individuals that best portray our class. When you look in the background, you will see a Hollywood sign that represents the theme of our sophomore semi, an airplane for the many trips we have participated in, and famous landmarks found all over the world that symbolizes our prom's theme all around the world. We tried to capture our class's essence by including as many things that represented us as a whole within the mural.
Hello, fellow graduates, parents, and friends. My name is Kayla McGarry, and today I will be presenting one of 3 class gifts. Before remote learning began, the class council was putting lots of thought into a gift revolving around school spirit. This seemed like a fitting idea at the time because our class was one to bring back pep rallies and boost Raider pride. However, the circumstances quickly changed as our senior year was cut short. Although this isn't what any of us wanted, we turned this new challenge into the opportunity to be creative with our class gift, making it one of a kind. We never expected the end of our high school years to fly by from our couches, but people from all around the community have recognized our loss and gone the extra mile to support this unique class. It was only right for us to pass that generosity forward. We had money left over after already selecting 2 class gifts, and we wanted to put it towards a meaningful memento for future generations. So, with that being said, the class gift I am presenting today is a collection of signs that will be hung up around downtown Rochester for years to come, honoring Spaulding seniors. We would like to say a special thank you to the City Council for their help with this project. These signs will congratulate deserving graduates while also bringing this tight-knit community even closer together. The class of 2020 has missed out on a lot these past few months, but we've also gained so much recognition that we hope these signs will pass on to future seniors. We're the perfect class to start this new tradition, hopefully giving every Spaulding student something to look forward to as they take their next steps. This gift is more than just signs hanging from light poles. Our wish is future classes will see them as a symbol of perseverance and Raider pride forever. And now I'd like to introduce Mr. Mike O'Brien, who will present our class salutatorium.
Hello, my name is Michael O'Brien, and I'm a math teacher here at Spaulding High School. I get the honor of introducing this year's salutatorian, Casey Walters. I've had the pleasure of witnessing Casey's growth over these past 4 years, and it's been impressive. Casey's growth has been linear, strong, and positive. In classes, Casey gets things right, always. He's a true outlier in performance. Casey's taken very challenging classes, and he's shown great competitiveness with himself to master these classes. When appropriate, Casey has also shown a playful side and a good sense of humor. With his passion to succeed, his potential is limitless. I have no doubt he will be highly successful in his computer science classes at Worcester Polytechnic Institute and flourish in his career beyond school. I wish I could see his face today, as well as all his fellow graduates in the class of 2020. I wish you all luck, and good luck, Casey. And now I'd like to introduce Rita Chambra, who will introduce this year's class valedictorian.
Hello, my name is Rita Chambra. I am a science teacher here at Spaulding, and I am so excited to have the opportunity to introduce this year's valedictorian. I had the pleasure of teaching this student her freshman year, and I was immediately impressed by her intelligence, work ethic, inquisitive nature, and maturity. As I got to know her, it became clear that she was going to make the most of her time in high school, and she has. This individual has taken most of the advanced placement classes Spaulding has to offer. She was a 4-year member of the girls' soccer program. She was president of the French Honor Society, co-president of Mu Alpha Theta, secretary of the Interact Club, and she participated in the Field Research Study Abroad program in Costa Rica last year. She has accomplished all of this while also working at Wentworth Douglas Hospital, delivering food to patients. Despite this rigorous schedule and the high expectations she has set for herself through the years, she remains humble, thoughtful, and kind. She is going to move on from her experiences at Spaulding to study at Northeastern University and major in health science. Northeastern is lucky to have gained a student who has such a bright future ahead of her, and we are lucky to have someone of her caliber going into the health science field. She is an ambitious young woman who is always ready to seize opportunities and gain new experiences. She has a wonderfully positive attitude and the ability to make the best of any situation. Simply put, she is awesome, and I'm excited to see what she accomplishes in the future. This rising star has deserved every award and accolade for which she has been recognized, and now she can add valedictorian to her list of achievements. It is an honor to introduce this year's Spaulding High School Class of 2020 valedictorian, Katie O'Brien.
Before I start, I'd like to thank not only my family, but the families of all graduating seniors of the class of 2020 for helping us get here today. I'd like to thank the teachers for their unparalleled effort and for never failing to inspire their students. And finally, I'd like to thank our principal, our administrators, our school board, and all those working tirelessly behind the scenes to make our graduation the best it possibly can be given the current global situation. I'd like to start by sharing that 12 has always been my favorite number. It has been the number on the back of my soccer jersey for the past 8 years, and it's the day of the month my birthday happens to fall on. So a few months ago, when I heard that graduation was set for June 12th, I thought that nothing could possibly go wrong. And I have never been more incorrect about something in my entire life. But I do know that the past 4 years can easily be compared to a roller coaster. It started off very slow and boring, but the pace eventually picked up. And then the excitement turned into fear about what was coming next. A very big drop, the peak of our high school experience. But as our car was rising and we were getting closer, the ride broke and we were left stranded and helpless. Our experience was left without an ending. So I can't stand up here today and tell you all not to let adversity stand in your way, because that would be a lie. Adversity is completely in our way, and there's nothing we can do about it. We worked just as hard as the classes that have come before us. We deserved everything we lost out on. And not to mention the countless vision-related puns that only our class has had to suffer through. 2020 vision, I don't think anyone could have seen this one coming. I thought that last joke would get a few more laughs, but I guess it's just a tough crowd here today. So what I will tell you is what I've learned in the past 4 years. I have learned that senioritis does not exclusively apply to seniors. I have refined my skills on how to write an essay in a time crunch. But I've also learned that a person should always leave things better than how they found them. And as we live in our current suspended reality, out of touch with the childhood fascinations and infatuations that made us who we are, this is more important than ever. I believe that it is our responsibility as newly graduated members to do what we can to make our communities a better place. But I'd like to break it down smaller than that. In our classes 4 years at Spaulding, we are certainly leaving this school better than we found it. We have worked to make our school more beautiful inside and out. We have stood up for what we believe in. Our collective compassion and unmatched determination define us as a class excited to go out and bring change into our community as soon as we actually can. Barack Obama once said, "Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek." So maybe you want to see climate change solved and the opioid epidemic ended. Or maybe you want to ensure that every human being has access to clean drinking water. Or maybe you're like me, and after suffering through D-block on the 3rd floor for 2.5 years in a row, you want to see some air conditioning. But regardless of what changes you want to see in this community and in this world, it is important to acknowledge that changing something and fixing something are not the same thing. The act of changing embodies the message of leaving something better than the state you found it in. But fixing something only returns it to the condition it was first in. We have been shoved into a situation that needs to be fixed, but we live in a community and in a world that needs change. So today, on this day that it is not what it was supposed to be, I implore all of you to change what you can for the better, but recognize what you cannot fix. We are not the all-powerful we so wish to be, but we are the ones who can slowly shape the future. Thank you, and congratulations to the Spaulding High School class of 2020.
Lexi Taylor. Adrian Sutton. Kayla McGarry. Taylor Corvo. Chloe DeShano. Jalen Jewell. Noah Mitchell. Catherine O'Brien. Lee Palema. Emily Sherman. Nicholas Stone. Aiden Taft. Casey Wohlers. Josephine Bamford. Sydney Beliveau. Miranda Benson. Quentin Bezanker. Adam Brown. Faith Cull. Madison Corvo. Taylor Duncan. Isabel Eames. Allison Gray. Timothy Grosky. Jarrett Hayes. Samantha Imbo. Austin Keene. Mark Kamani. Kara Leach. Adeline Lovins. Haley McDonald. Haley Paige Nesbitt. Shannon Marie Stanley. Isabella Mariah Thompson. Crystal Toussaint. Andrew James Trogler. Autumn Rose Abbey. Autumn Blaze Adams. Carissa Marie Amato. Paige Lynn Angelone. Matthew Arkwell. Tanner M. Armstrong. Elizabeth Arnold. Xavier Daniel Bamford. Jade Barrett. Juliana S. Beauchesne. Caroline R. Boyer. Cody Giorgio. Caleb John Belial. Tyrone Benedict. Ryan Joseph Bernier. Samantha Elizabeth Berstrand. Madison Jade Berube. Addison Justin Bigelow. Timothy Paul Bigness. Sean M. Bittner. Tyler Matthew Bittner. David Michael Board. Derek Chase Bellotta. Abigail Elizabeth Bonham. Jasmine Nancy Beaufort. Jewel Shine Beaufort. Devlin Allen Bowley. Brandon Michael Braden. Allison Irene Bryant. Isabel Marie Brill. Riley Paige Brooks. Caden Alexander Brown. Catherine Elizabeth Bruno. Sadie Marie Burns. Dylan James Burpee. Haley Elizabeth Butler. Elizabeth Bell Coyette. Morgan Danielle Coyette. Brendan James Carey. Spencer Daniel Kerrigan. Tyler Kerrigan. Alyssa June Cassidy. Thomas David Chandler. Kathleen Chen. Allison A. Sinfo. Mackenzie Clark. Aaron Christopher Clough. Emily Dawn Coberly. Taylor Collins. David M. Cologne. Alexa Morgan Connolly. Tyler Cormier. Zachary James Cormier. Anthony M. Couture. Miles Alexander Crichton. Jeremiah R. Daigle. Morgan Danforth, Seth Davidson, Merced de la Certa, Canon S. Demers, Jack Edward James Diaz, Emily Ann Dixon, Caleb T. Downey, Keegan Downing, Jasmine L. Downs, Jenna Coral Downs, Elier Josue Dugal, Brittany Lynn Dugan, Avery James Dunning, Caitlin Eastman, Tanner Charles Eastman, Blake E. Ellis, Adam Joseph Ensko, Riley J. W. Ernst, Lexi Jacqueline Farrington, Caitlin M. Farrell, Allison Page Files, Catherine Jeanette Fitch, Isaiah Jer Fall, Samantha Lynn Francis, Logan Owen Gadbois, Colby John Gagney, Zachary Michael Gagney, James Gannon II, Noel Taylor Garcia, Jaden Matthew Garside, Trinity Justice Ray George, Madison Rose Marie Gillespie, Connor Ray Glidden, Aaron David Goldstein, Jared Allen Gooley, Micaiah Ashley Goslin, Nathaniel Owen Scott Goyette, Annalise Sunshine Grassi, Riley Alexa Grotti, Madison Elizabeth Guile, Ruby Rose Hayden, Joshua Hale, Gabrielle Hanscom,
C. Hanscom, Emily Christine Hansen, Jacob Alexander Harland, Ryan Hatfield, Adrian Marie Claire Hebert, Jacob S. Higgins, Aaron E. Howard, Kaylin Elizabeth Holtz, Callie Patricia Puppy, Alexis Nicole Hutchinson, Kylie Paige Johnson, Autumn Victoria Jolin, Eden Priscilla Jordan. Levi Parker Caroline. Zachary C. Keenan. Darren Keller. Zachary Tyler Jeffrey Kelly. Joseph Jeremiah Killoran. Jacob V. King. Tara Lee Kinsley. Jacob Aaron Knowlton. Victoria Joan Kaczynski. Maximus J. Kuchman. Nikita Levante. Matthew J. Lacey. Shannon E. Lacey. Devin Cole LaFond. Noah R. Langonier. Ryan Matthew Lane. Garrett Wayne Langis. Alex J. LaRoche. Bryce Matthew Lavoie. Marissa J. Lawler. Corey E. LeClaire. Aiden Brian Thomas Levis. Kira Leone. Amanda L. Letourneau. Tristan C. Letourneau. Samantha Linder. Alia Rhodes Littlefield. Michael Lowry. Meliana Maria Lugo. Julia E. Mabey. Madison J. Mackey. Olivia R. Mallet. Joseph A. Mangano. Alex M. Marriott. Madison Marston. Christina Teresa Martinez. Shane M. Martinez. Isaac Martins. Anthony J. Matson. Alexandria Lynn McGibbon. Dante Stephen McKenney. Matthew James Merchant. Megan Rebecca Metzdorf. Robert Francis Miles II. Taylor Nicole Mitchell. Alexis M. Morales. Connor M. Morin. Tamika Morris. Darren M. Nason. Christopher J. O'Brien. Emma Villette. Juliana Eve Owens. Bianca Marie Jacob. Brandon A. Page. Wade Aaron Paquette. Ian I. Fair. Olivia J. Harrington. Jackson Samuel Parker. Sasha M. Parquette Kimball. Sky L. Halding. Gabrielle M. Bruce. James Peterson Matos. Logan Peterson Matos. Sabrina Amber Pettis. Michael A. Phillips, Jr. Emily Ann Pierce. Haley Ann Pierce. Brandon Hugh Pinardi. Amaya Marie Plant. Nicole E. Polychronis. Jace David Amerlo. Riley Michael Crew. Alicia Noel Ratliff. Logan Patrick Redmond. Natalie Marie Reinert. Olivia Marie Rich. Christopher Michael Rio. Hunter Rose Roberts. Emily Robillard. Taylor Denali Ross. Joseph C. Russo. Allison Elizabeth Roy. Michael Sachs. Zachary Reed Schreier. Hallie Mae Scott. Jaden Shaw. Nicholas James Sherman. Tatum Shunda. Abraham Seargar. Adriana Rachel Skipper. Ashton Joseph Smith. Caitlin Rose Smith. Lorelai Smith. Michael Smith. Micah D. Smith. Zachary Michael Smith. Danielle Sonier. Devin South. Benjamin W. Stanley. Tyler D. Stevens. Jackson M. Strayer. Jacob Sublette. Cole Sullivan. Dylan Christopher Taft. Callie Elizabeth Terrio. Kaylee Renee Thomas. Austin Thurston. Stephen John Todd Jr. Amy Teray Brown. Charles Trent. Kaylin Turner. Emma Tweedy. Kylie Gabrielle Bellier. Zoe Walbridge. Brandon R. Walsh. Alexander Walter. Mercedes O. Weatherby. Ariel M. Wheeler. Emma Patricia White. Hudson White. Jake Norman William Whitney. Harley Aline Wiggin. Jasmine Wiggins. Kevin Allen Wilcox. Molly Wiles. Noah Williford. Michael Henry Woolforth.
Genesis Kamahu Rivas. Christella Ishimwe. Savannah Groshu. Bradley Lemlin. Cheyenne Jane Perry. Jamie Shea. Christiana Lynn George. Holly Yanez. Joseph John Ryan II.
Hello, class of 2020. I'm Superintendent of Schools Kyle Rapusi. On behalf of the entire Rochester School Board and our district administrative team, congratulations on your graduation. At this time, please turn your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Hello, class of 2020. My name is Adrian Sutton, class's vice president. After a year full of everything that wasn't, we made it. There's no doubt in my mind that we learned many things over the past couple of years. But if there's one thing we learned the hard way, it's to never take anything for granted. To be honest, at first I was pretty bummed about the situation, but then my mom said to me, "Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it." And so I didn't. It's easy to let the situation get to us, but it's nothing that we can't handle. One second we were going to school and living our normal lives, and the next it was all taken away from us. You simply never know what's going to happen in life. So after a little bit of pondering, I came to the conclusion that life is simply too short to be doing what we don't want to be doing. And that's no cap. Now though, we are the drivers of our own lives. So it's time to hop in the driver's seat and do what makes us happy. It's time to live how we want to live, and time to start living with no regrets, because you only get one drive down this road of life. So whatever those goals you have for your future, now is the time to achieve them. It ain't gonna be easy, but that's okay. Like I said last year, and what the great Bobby Shmurda once said, if you got a dog, then feed it every day. But if you don't, don't. Now I believe these same wise words apply not only to the class of 2020, but to our dreams too. If you have a dream, you better feed into it every day. And now is the time to prove it. So whether your next path takes you overseas, to college, or to a new job, just know that there will always be a path leading home, to Spaulding High School. No matter what choices you choose to make, don't ever forget to keep smiling, because every day is a blessing. So before my time's up, I would like to take a second to say goodbye. Goodbye, teachers and faculty. Goodbye, class of 2020. And goodbye, Spaulding High School. This is the end of an era, but it's just the beginning of a new chapter. So, like Ariana Grande said, thank you. Next.
This concludes our formal graduation ceremony.